Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is my second video. No, it should be my third video going up by now, right? Yes, this will be my third video. I wanted to sit down real quick and tell you guys my pregnancy story. Currently right now the sun is going down. You guys are placed in my windowsill, so the lighting is okay at the moment, but eventually in the video it might get terrible and it might have to be my lamp lighting, because when Bellamy is sleeping, which he's sleeping right now, it's currently 8:12 my time, so yes, the sun will definitely be down in like 30 minutes. So Bellamy is sleeping right now, and that's really the only time I have to quietly sit down and really talk, and especially talk for the length I'm going to be talking, pretty much. When I became pregnant, I was 19, just turned 19 when I became pregnant. I'm thinking, so I conceived in December. On December 24th, Miguel had proposed to me. Miguel and I were engaged before I was pregnant. Sorry about the outside noises. Kids are playing outside, as you can hear. I think it was like around January 5th I found out. Around this time in my life, my periods were very, very, very regular, and they used to not be regular at all. I just like finally became regular. So I did get my period I don't know what I'm trying to say. I did get my period every time on month. I got my period on time every month, yes, when I was supposed to have my period. And this time my period was like 3 days late, and I wasn't too worried because it's like it wouldn't be the first time that my period was late, and maybe I thought it was only being regular for like 6 months, and maybe it was just going back to being irregular. But to ease my mind, I decided to take a pregnancy test, and oh my god, those kids are being really loud outside. I decided to take a pregnancy test, and I really did think it was gonna come out negative. So I told Miguel about my suspicions. Okay, I just shut my window, so now we won't hear any kids playing outside. But anyways, I told Miguel about my suspicions and how my period has been regular, and I told him actually that I was 90% sure that I was not pregnant because I have been irregular in the past. But anyways, he was like, okay, because this wasn't the first time I've had a pregnancy scare. So like, I'm sure he was just like, you know, like she said, it's probably 99. It's like he worries anytime I had to take a pregnancy test. But anyways, we go to the 7-Eleven, which was like a 3-minute walk from the apartment building we lived in, and I got a really expensive pregnancy test because 7-Eleven ain't cheap when it comes to drugstore items. And anyways, we went back, and you know, this wasn't even my first morning urine, and I peed on the stick and immediately it showed a positive, and I was like, oh my god. And Miguel was there with me, and I'm just like googling away. I'm like, can these tests give false positives? And like it just came up so fast, and I was like, this can't be real, can it? And like we're both kind of freaking out, and I'm like reading all this stuff, and I'm like, what if this test is wrong? And then we go back to the 7-Eleven and we get another test, and they only had blue dye tests, and that one came up very positive right away too. And I read on Google, or just when I was like researching it, that blue dyes were notorious for false positives. So I was like, okay, maybe I'm not pregnant. So then we ended up walking. Like, no, we didn't walk. I think we actually took a Lyft or an Uber. We didn't have a car at this point in our lives, and we ended up walking to what was Albertsons but is now Safeway, and well, just to get a pink dye test. And I think I got like a pack that had 2 in them, and those 2 came up positive like right away. And at this point, Miguel's dad is over at our apartment, and he has no idea what's going on, and Miguel is in the bathroom with me, and we're both just freaking out because we're like, we are so young. Can we even do this? Like, I was 19 and Miguel and I are 6 months apart. I'm 6 months older than he is, so he was 18 at this time, and we were just both like what do we do? I've only been out of school for like a year, right? Well, not like, I've been out of high school for a year and I'm in college, and I was in college then too. So I'm like, I'm in college and I'm having a baby, and Miguel and I, actually, I don't even think Miguel had a job at the moment. I think it was just me that was working. And I was just like, how are we going to do this? Like, this is crazy. And we were like debating in the bathroom for the longest time. Like, I don't know if Miguel's dad's name is Tino. I don't know if he knew anything was going on. I'm sure he could like kind of hear Miguel and I in the bathroom. And I was just like, we need to tell someone. Because we were like debating whether or not we would tell anybody right away. And I'm like, well, we need somebody to help us. We need someone to talk to about this. And you know what, actually, yeah, I don't remember. I'll just, I guess, explain later. And then, so I told Miguel I was going to tell his dad, since he was just in the kitchen, and it's like, we can't function at the moment. But it's like hell filled of anxiety Miguel and I were, because like, we're so young. And so like, I didn't even have words. I just showed his dad the pregnancy test, and he just looked at it confused, and I was like, it's positive. And he immediately went to the bathroom where Miguel was crying, and I mean, he probably won't even like that I mentioned that he was crying, but it's like, crying happens, boys cry. And he wasn't crying because he was upset. He wasn't crying because he didn't want Bellamy. He was crying because like, we are young, and like, we probably weren't ready. But yeah, so there was just us freaking out, and Miguel's dad was like trying to soothe Miguel and me, and it just kind of went from there. I don't remember when I called my friend. I don't know if I called my friend Ren before or after we told Miguel's dad, but I called him and I told him, and you know, I think it was before, because I think we were walking to the gas station again to get another pregnancy test. And I was telling him, and I was freaking out to him, and he was just, you know, talking to me, trying to get me through it. He was like, and how does that make you feel? And he was just being very encouraging and very supportive. I love my friend Ren so much. He's always been very, very supportive of me and made me believe that I can do things where I feel like I can't do them. So I am very, very thankful for my friend Ren. After all of that, Miguel and I lived a day, I think it was like a day later or 2 days later, we decided to go to Planned Parenthood because I was told that I needed proof that I was pregnant to be seen by an OBGYN. And I was pretty sure of how many weeks I was. Like, I think it was 5 weeks when I found out, and I was pretty sure of how many weeks I was, but just to be sure, I really wanted an ultrasound too, to make sure I was as far as along as I thought I was. And so we went to the Planned Parenthood, yeah, Planned Parenthood, and I don't know why, I feel like at this point, Miguel and I were kind of thinking like we'd be actually kind of disappointed, because like, what? I don't know what I thought they were going to do. I don't know why I thought their test could have been different, because I'm like, this is how we're going to really find out if I'm pregnant, as if they confirm it, which I think they did just have me do a urine test, and I don't know why I thought that test could come up different, but I'm like, this is the moment of truth, if all those positives were false or not. And I felt like I was really hoping that their test would come out positive, because it's like, I've been thinking for 2 days that I am pregnant, and I'm like thinking about this baby and wanting this baby, and like even Miguel's getting excited about having a baby too. And so I feel like we were both actually really scared of the result being negative for some reason. I can't really speak for Miguel, but I feel like he was thinking that way. So we went, and of course it came out positive, and I really was pregnant. And I think it was like around 8 weeks that I had my first doctor's appointment, and I got to listen to my little one's heart, and it was like all so exciting and all so nerve-wracking. And the first time, like, and then they gave me so ultrasounds here have to be done at my hospital, Poudre Valley Hospital. I was going to family medicine clinic for prenatal care, and I still go to them, and so does Bellamy. But that's pretty much what happened there. And then well, at the appointment, they were asking if I, by any chance, wanted a dating ultrasound to make sure that it was as far as long as I thought I was. So I decided yes, because what if I wasn't sure? And I was wrong. So we went to the hospital and we had our first ultrasound. This was my first ultrasound picture. And with my first ultrasound, they told me I was 8 weeks exactly. And I wonder if it has a date on it. And this was on February 7th, 2017 that I got my first ultrasound. It's cool that it even has a time. I got it at 12:59. I don't know if it's gonna focus on it at all. But this is how small Bellamy was. I think, actually, I was in shock on how big, I was in shock on how big he looked, because I think around this time, and I might be wrong, I think around this time it was telling me like he was the size of a sesame seed, and I'm like, oh my god. And you can see his like little nubs there and his little like tail, and I don't know, it was something different. Like both Miguel and I couldn't believe our eyes, and we're like, oh my god, this makes it like 1,000 times more real. Like, we're having a baby, this is real. Like, just hearing his heartbeat and getting that ultrasound, it was just all the proof we needed. Like, yeah, we had positive, like all my tests were coming out positive, but like it's not real until you hear that heartbeat and you see the first ultrasound. Like, it feels so surreal. It's even still surreal having him and him only being 10 months old. But as far as my first trimester was, I threw up a lot. I lost like 10, 15 pounds. I was not in the mood for any kind of physical activity. I just wanted to lay in bed all day. And like, I thought morning sickness only happens in the morning. It does not. It happens all throughout the day. And I just remember being so nauseous all the time. It was just not, it was not fun. And like the first trimester pregnancy just isn't fun to begin with. Like, my first symptom, of course, was missing my period, and then the other major symptom was like my boobs hurt so bad. Like, you could barely touch them. I'm like, ow. Like, it felt like you just like punched me in the boob if someone just like poked me, or like someone just slightly like bumped them. I'm like, this hurts so much. But I think as far as first trimester, as far as first trimester symptoms, I think that's as bad as it was. I don't think I had any other symptoms. I didn't have like any like food cravings at that point. I didn't have any food actually, I had food aversions, everything. I didn't want any food. I actually lived on the brat diet, and that's the diet you eat when you're nauseous and can't hold down food. So bananas, rice, applesauce, toast. Like, I lived off of that like the first 3 months of my pregnancy, because like I couldn't stomach anything. It was like very hard on me too. And then other than that, it was just the disbelief that I was pregnant. Like, it was like a huge disbelief to me. I'm like, wow, is this even real? And it feels unreal, because it's like you can't feel the baby growing in you at this point, and at that point you can have bloat, but you're not showing. Like, the baby is so tiny. And I also, my biggest fear in my first trimester was miscarrying, because Miguel and I have already grown so used to this idea of having our own baby, and I think it took us like 2 days to actually like become excited for this. Like, this is happening, we're having a baby. And just from there we got more and more excited. Like, we were just so excited to have this baby.